Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I'll be doing a real quick pick guide, if you will, for the Chinese, French, and Swedish tech trees, being that we are in a pretty decent sale. I'll be going over the vehicles that I feel are most worth purchasing of these nations. Again, this will be a real quick thing. I'll just tell you what I like, and I'll tell you what I like about those vehicles. So that said, let's start off with China, and I'll start off with the tank tech tree. So of course you can get all of the regular tech tree vehicles for 30% off, which I still have a few that I have to unlock, and that's largely because I have these two vehicles. But before I get into those vehicles, I'll kind of go over what else I like. So I do like the T-3485 number 215. This has nothing special about it over a regular T-3485. It's just a premium version of it with the ZIS S53 cannon. I would much rather have that over the IS-2 number 402, just because, as you may know, I really don't like IS-2s, but this is just, in my opinion, a better overall vehicle, and you should still be able to do plenty of damage with it. Plus, you'll save yourself a little bit over 800 golden eagles. Beyond that, I don't know if I would pick the ZTZ-59A. It seems like a pretty good vehicle, but it does have a somewhat long reload rate, especially for this BR. It's got a stabilizer, but the stabilizer's not great, and it does not have night vision, nor, of course, thermals. So it is iffy in my opinion, but it does have a powerful cannon, and I think that's pretty decent. But over that, I would take the WMA 301. This is easily one of my favorite vehicles in game. I would recommend everybody get this thing. It is at 8.3 BR currently, and oh my gosh, it's got thermals, it has a laser rangefinder, it's got a tandem charge ATGM, it's got APDS or APF SDS, I mean to say. It's got itself a some sort of a proximity charge, whatever. I'm not really good with those ones, but either way, it is ridiculous, easily one of my favorite vehicles in game, and that's something I never thought I would say, but I love that vehicle so much. Now, going over to the Chinese air tech tree. This one's a little bit more iffy because, in my opinion, it's not really as well put together as the ground tech tree, but I'll just kind of start off here. They used to say that, if I'm not mistaken, the H-81A2 was really powerful, or maybe it was the Hawk 3. The Hawk 3 is extremely powerful when it comes to its secondary ordnance. If you see here, it has almost 1,000 pounds of bombs, and that's on a biplane at 1.0 BR. So incredibly powerful. If you have just the spending money, maybe if you really want it. But so again, a 1.0 BR tier 1 vehicle, so it's not really anything necessary. Beyond that, this is pretty cool. It's a decent interceptor, but it is not all that incredible. Really, the only two vehicles that I would go for here are going to be the A6M2 and the KI-80 Co. You could go for the Shenyang F5. This does, if I'm not mistaken, have an afterburner, which is pretty darn cool. But it's got an afterburner, but overall, it's nothing incredible. It sits at 9.3 BR, and it does have the PL2 missiles, but it's not an incredible fighter. But if you really like the idea of a gunfighter sitting at 9.3 BR, it's not too bad. It's very similar to the MiG-17 AS, and if you like the MiG-17 AS like how I like it, it might not be a bad pickup for you. Now let's go to France. France is one of my favorite tech trees, and I'll start off with the ground tech tree as I did with the Chinese. So of course, B1 Terror, I will go with that any day of the week, even since it has been up BR'd. I still love this vehicle. It is a complete upgrade over the B1 BIS in pretty much every way possible, including with the cannon mounted in the cannon in the front of the vehicle. That actually has a better turret traverse, a wider range, believe it or not, than the B1 BIS by actually quite a bit. Beyond this, I will go with the AMX-13 M24. I actually really like this vehicle. It's a great beginner vehicle. It's fairly inexpensive, and it's got a good mix of an American turret plus cannon, as well as a decent enough mobility with the ground, with the AMX-13 chassis, and it sits at 3.3 BR. Not too bad. The only real downside to it, along with the B1 Terror, is that they both sit at rank 2, which means that they will largely be ineligible for events. Beyond this, I would probably go with the Panther Dauphine. The only reason why I don't have it is because I don't have a need for it, but I am a huge Panther fan, and these things are just amazing. If I'm not mistaken, this is a Panther A. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is a Panther A. Now, beyond that, I would probably almost definitely go with the AMX-30. It's a really, really good tank at 7.7 BR. Nothing spectacular, but really good if you're into ATGMs, this is also a good choice, but I really don't care for the AMX 13 platform in general. For me, I really prefer the Char 25T as well as the as well as the AML 90. But, of course, if you really like the AMX 13 Plus ATGMs, this is a very, very powerful tank in the right hands. Now, beyond that, for aviation, this one is a bit different. And really, and just a quick side note here, when it comes to the B1 Terror, you can get this in the French Ground Forces texture, or in the French Beginners Pack, rather. So, if you want, you can get this and the P40 F5 Lafayette, which is also included in the beginners pack. You can get that plus 120,000 Silver Lions, and it typically costs, if I'm not mistaken, $10 USD, which it might go on sale for a few dollars off with this upcoming sale. I believe that they will be doing some sort of a pack sale or a bundle sale. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that is what will be happening. So if you want those, it's a good bundle deal for 2.0, or for rank 2 rather. The P40 F5 Lafayette, great fighter. It's a little bit boring, but still a really good fighter. Beyond that, we'll go with the P47 D22 RE. Amazing plane, any Thunderbolt, you cannot go wrong with those. This is just going to be great. You'll be able to do a lot with close air support. You're going to be able to do a good amount when it comes to just being a regular fighter in this thing. It's just going to be great overall, and you can just take it up in BR a ton. You know, you see people with P47s flying through 7.0 plus BR, so it's just a really effective platform, and it's good through a ton of BRs. Beyond that, you might want to go with the AD4. It's not bad, it's certainly very good. I prefer, believe it or not, the 47 just because it has a greater top speed. In my opinion, that means a lot, even if it has a lower capacity, but this is going to be very, very good, especially if you like the idea of rockets. Not bad. I personally don't care for AD4s or the AD2s, but ultimately they are very, very effective. Now let's finally go over to Sweden, and finally here, most of these vehicles are just pretty much premium versions of vehicles here. There's nothing too special about them. I personally don't really like any of these, which is why I think I have one of these because I have the premium beginners pack and something else, but ultimately I really don't care for any of these. So let's move on here, and yeah, the Stridsvagn 81. I think that's an excellent choice. This is pretty much just a Swedish Centurion with ATGM. It's the same SS11 ATGM as you have with the French AMX 13 right here. It's the same exact concept except on a Centurion in the French or the Swedish tech tree. So I think it's worth it. Beyond that, there's not really all too much that you can purchase when it comes to Golden Eagles for the Swedish ground tech tree, but it's pretty darn good. If this is selling for Golden Eagles, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really sure if it does sell for Golden Eagles or not. I believe they took it off. It's decently worth it, but only really because it's rank 5, which gives you access to be able to research all of these vehicles penalty free. So it's worth it in that regard, but other than that, it's not an incredible vehicle, but ever since they reworked the hull aiming mechanics, it is a bit better. Now, finally, when it comes to air forces, pretty much every single premium vehicle that you can get with the Swedish Air Forces, in my opinion, is going to be worth it. So the Morka Moraine, excellent vehicle. The Fokker DXXI, again, another excellent vehicle. This is better for those who prefer more agility and flight performance, whereas this is for those who have more of an Iron Fist sort of feel. They like heavier gun power and things of that nature. Both excellent vehicles, and they're both very inexpensive. Beyond that, you have the BF-109 G6. If you're not familiar with the BF-109s, they are just great overall fighters. That's why you see them in the German air tech tree, all the way from 1.3 BR up through, around 5.7 BR. They can do it all. I mean, they just have so many iterations in-game. Even the Puremski, if I'm not mistaken, is a Swedish take, or a Finnish take, rather, on the G2, the BF-109 G2 or G4. So it's a really, really long-lasting series of planes, and this is no exception. Excellent plane. The only reason why I don't have it is because I don't have a need for it, and I'm not at the point yet as a content creator where I've got tens of thousands of GE I still spend whatever Gaijin gives to me pretty regularly, so I don't really have too much just to be throwing around all willy-nilly, but this is definitely a plane that I would purchase if I had a little bit more GE. Excellent plane, especially for those who are looking to build up their ground or their Air Force's tech tree, and it can do some level of close air support. Not credible, but it can do a little bit. Finally, what you have here is the Saab 105OE. Excellent plane, especially for those who like close air support. You have the RB-05A rockets. These are just amazing. If I'm not mistaken, they are pretty much the same as Nords, which are excellent. You find those on the G91R4 in the German and Italian tech trees. Really, really powerful plane. It has good handling, good flight performance, 8.3 PR, and can also carry air-to-air missiles. Plus, you can carry 30mm cannons plus air-to-air missiles. So just a really good overall platform. I think that's worth it if you're looking to grind your air tech tree. By the time I even got beyond here and I actually had the GE that I could use to purchase this, I had already unlocked pretty much everything I needed, so I don't really have a need for it yet. But it is a really, really good grinder and one of the few really good grinders for the Swedish air tech tree. But that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Please, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this video. I don't know if I'm going to be doing one for the US, German, and or US, USSR, and Great Britain tech trees, but if you want, let me know in the comments below. I might do a quick one for that as well. Either way, this is Tankenstein. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all on the other side. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you all on the other side.